Now at 6, a student dead, another in jail, and a community demanding answers. Tonight, parents and students want to know what happened in the moments before a 16-year-old was stabbed to death inside Baytown Sterling High School.
Cleaned up the blood, and then afterwards they basically told everybody, like, hey, just go back to class as if nothing happened.
Plus, a KHOU 11 investigation into how often violence is happening across the district and how a state law that should make it easy for parents to find out this information isn't being followed.
KHOU 11 starts right now with a breaking news alert.
And that breaking news tonight, murder charges accepted by the DA's office just moments ago against 18-year-old Andre Matthews. He's accused of stabbing his sophomore classmate, 16-year-old Andrew Meismer, seen here in a photo shared by his family today. The stabbing reportedly during a fight at Baytown Sterling on Wednesday. Also tonight, we're hearing from the school district in a statement released just about an hour ago.
It shared condolences and grief for Wednesday's tragedy, but it stopped short of answering the many questions and concerns parents and students have. Share with KHOU 11 News today. And we have team coverage for you this evening investigating campus violence across Goose Creek CISD and breaking down a timeline of the stabbing. But we begin with Amanda Henderson. She is live at Baytown Sterling High School with more on tonight's late-breaking developments. Amanda?
Yes, of course, Mia, we heard that the DA has just accepted those charges to file them against the suspect. But within the last hour, we also received that new statement from the superintendent of Goose Creek CISD, Dr. Randall O'Brien. And inside of it, it's a very lengthy statement. He says that his heart is heavy with grief and that when it comes to addressing concerns, they want to be as transparent as possible. But that's something students and parents tell us hasn't been the case. Amid a sea of car horns, students at Goose Creek CISD's Sterling High School stand holding signs calling for justice for Andrew Meismer.
Overall, he just put a smile on a lot of people's faces, and he did not deserve what happened to him by any means.
Sage Noland and Lily Williams are among the dozens who are asking for the district to address safety concerns after the 16-year-old sophomore was stabbed to death on campus Wednesday. The suspect, 18-year-old Andre Matthews, in custody.
I just think it's very important that they should release all the information, especially for like the parents, the family, the very, very close friends. They don't deserve to be without knowledge, and we don't deserve to feel unsafe at school.
Williams and Nolan say after the fatal stabbing, nothing was addressed by the district, and they were sent to take their finals despite the traumatic situation.
50 minutes after, we were still taking our 7th period finals. So they didn't even give us time. Yesterday.
They cleaned up the blood, and then afterwards they basically told everybody, like, hey, just go back to class as if nothing happened. And then our teachers were shaking, like our teachers were terrified.
Which is why they are among those making signs. Alongside Andrew's mother, she was not ready to speak on camera, but visited the memorial for her son outside the school and sat with students as well as parents for about 20 minutes, emotional as they all demand answers.
Why is that flag not at half-staff? We've been asking that all day. Why are we not showing the state's mourning this child passing?
If Goose Creek ISD does respond today and they say, hey, we'll talk to you, what do you want us to ask them?
What do we do in these situations? Because obviously, for these situations, we were not ready for them.
And you hear the frustration in the students' and parents' voices. We mentioned that new statement that came out right before 5 p.m. But up until this point, despite KHOU 11 requesting multiple times to sit down on camera with Goose Creek CISD leadership, they have told us they are not going to do on-camera interviews at this time. We're live in Baytown. I'm Amanda Henderson, KHOU 11 News.
And statements, they won't suffice for students and parents out there as they continue to tell us. Amanda Henderson, thank you.
And as we mentioned, the suspect, 18-year-old Andre Matthews, now formally charged with murder, expected to be taken to the Harris County Jail. Michelle Choi is there live tonight. Michelle, a lot of developments just in the last hour.
Hey there, Len. Yeah, absolutely. I just got off the phone a short time ago with the Harris County District Attorney's Office. They confirmed to me that they have officially accepted a murder charge against Andre Matthews and that the paperwork is being filed right now. Now, we have been out here outside the Sallyport entrance for more than 6 hours now waiting for Matthews to arrive. He is expected to be transferred here from Baytown. Now, this Sallyport entrance is normally where suspects are brought in, booked into the Harris County Jail, and taken before a magistrate judge. I also want to go back to that district statement that was released just a short time ago, where it referenced a point we've been hearing repeatedly, that Matthews had prior disciplinary record with the district. Take a look. Superintendent Dr. Randall O'Brien writing, quote, "It has also come to my attention that an image purporting to be a student's disciplinary history has been publicly circulated. While the district is prohibited from discussing students' disciplinary histories in the public sphere, I urge exercising discretion when relying on information circulated on social media, regardless of its source." The superintendent, however, did not deny the claims we've seen circulating today. Now, Baytown police records show Matthews is currently being held at the Baytown Municipal Jail. At last check, he is still at that facility. Meanwhile, the district emphasized this investigation is now in the hands of law enforcement. It's worth pointing out through this process that Goose Creek has its own police force that is part of the district, and at this point they are investigating this case, not an outside agency like Baytown Police or the Sheriff's Office. Now, tonight, we are still pressing for answers after the district said law enforcement is guiding what can be released. I did reach back out to the district's assistant police chief, who I spoke and connected with briefly earlier this afternoon, to ask if the police department would be willing to share any further details and if the Goose Creek CISD police chief would be willing to go on camera to address parents' concerns. We are still waiting to hear back. Back to you.
Michelle, we appreciate all the inquiries. Thank you.
And our team coverage continues with investigative reporter Jeremy Rogowski, who's taking a closer look at violence at Sterling High School. Jeremy?
Yeah, guys, we went back 3 years and analyzed assaults and fights on campus. Sterling High reported dozens each year. And we also learned the district is not keeping up with the state law on how it's supposed to post this information online.
It takes some navigating and know-how of the TEA's website to find a school's history of violent incidents. It's buried in annual campus summaries, where we searched Sterling High for the past 3 years. For assaults, the campus reported less than 10 in the 2022-23 school year, 12 assaults the following year, and 10 last school year. Those numbers are slightly higher than Lee High School and Goose Creek CISD, but lower than Goose Creek Memorial High. As for fights, defined as mutual combat, records show there were 31 at Sterling High 3 years ago, 34 fights the following year, and 37 last school year. The average number of yearly fights is similar to other high schools in the district. Meanwhile, a state law on the books requires Texas school districts every year to post violent incidents online to make it easy for parents to search. But on Goose Creek's website, its Unsafe Schools report is outdated. The most recent information is from the 2016-2017 school year.
And we reached out to Goose Creek School District for a comment about that. A spokesperson got back to us about an hour ago saying the district's working on updating that information. Len and Mia?
Updating the information now. Jeremy, thank you.
Ron Trevino joins us in the newsroom, walking us through how this tragic event unfolded. Ron?
Len and Mia, we're looking at emails and police scanner traffic to give you a better idea of the sequence of events in yesterday's horrible violence at Baytown Sterling High. Let's start with some of the police scanner audio that we heard yesterday morning.
A student stabbed another student in the neck with scissors. We do have EMS en route. Unknown if the other student is detained.
According to the Baytown Police Daily Media Report, at 10:47 yesterday morning, they were responding to an aggravated assault reported in the 300 block of Baker Road, the school address. At 11:24, a press statement from Goose Creek CISD saying that Sterling had been placed on a hold following the fight and that the hold had been lifted and there was no current threat to students or staff. Then at 3:30 yesterday, the heartbreaking announcement from Goose Creek that one student was dead and another arrested. Also at 3:30, the letter from Superintendent Dr. Randall O'Brien to Sterling parents, reading in part, "Our hearts are heavy as we grieve this unimaginable loss. We extend our deepest condolences to the student's family, friends, classmates, and all who are impacted by this tragedy. Dr. O'Brien's letter goes on to say that the resources and the student wellness team would be available for students who may need help, and he asks the community to come together. Len and Mia.
Ron, appreciate all those details.
And of course, we'll keep you updated as the story continues to develop. Stay up to date on air, online, and on the KHOU 11 mobile app.